Your door is lying to you. Every single time it sticks, drags, refuses to latch, or swings open on its own, it is silently draining money from your pocket. And the fix? It costs less than $1, one single dollar. Meanwhile, the home repair industry has been charging Americans anywhere from $500 to $3,000 to come out, look at your door for 20 minutes, and do something you could have done yourself in under 10. I know that sounds insane. But stay with me, because by the end of this video, you are never going to look at a misaligned door the same way again. The fix I'm about to show you uses something sitting in almost every American kitchen right now. Something so simple, so permanent, so effective that the door hardware industry and the home repair lobby have spent decades making sure you never connect the dots. They didn't hide this because it fails. They hid it because it works too well. Think about that for a second. They are not hiding something that only kind of works. They are hiding something that works so completely, so permanently, that once you know it, you never call a contractor for this problem again. And that is exactly the kind of business they cannot afford to let survive. This channel exists for one reason: to pull back the curtain on suppressed, buried, ignored knowledge that billion-dollar industries have kept out of mainstream conversation for decades. We do not sell anything. We do not sponsor anything. We just find the truth and put it in front of you, raw, practical, and free. If you want to stop wasting money on industry lies, subscribe and hit the bell. Because what I share here does not stay up forever, and once you see it, you will want to come back every single time. Now let me take you back. Not to some vague, distant past. I mean specifically. The year is 1887. The location is a small carpentry workshop on the outskirts of Cincinnati, Ohio. A German immigrant craftsman named Heinrich Brauer is building cabinet doors for some of the wealthiest homes in the city. Beautiful, heavy, solid oak doors. And like every craftsman of his era, he is battling a problem that has existed since humans first hung wood on a hinge. Wood moves, it breathes, it expands and contracts with heat and moisture. And when it does, doors stick. They drag. They refuse to close properly. Heinrich does not have access to a hardware store full of spray lubricants and branded filler kits. What he has is what every household in 1887 had. He has a bar of tallow soap, animal fat, rendered and hardened. He starts rubbing it on the hinge pins, along the door jamb edges, and into the strike plate area. And something remarkable happens. The door glides. It closes with a click. It stays aligned even through the humidity of an Ohio summer. This trick spread through craftsman networks, passed from builder to builder, father to son, neighbor to neighbor. Your grandmother already knew this. She used it every single day, not just on doors, on stuck drawers, on windows that painted shut, on anything wooden that refused to cooperate with the weather. This was not folklore. This was functional chemistry that everyday people understood intuitively, even without a laboratory to prove it. And then the 20th century happened, and with it, the manufacturing age. And suddenly, there was money to be made in selling you a product for every problem. A branded product. A product you could not make at home. A product that required you to call someone, buy something, depend on an industry. The knowledge did not disappear. It was buried. Here is what is actually happening at the molecular level when a door stops closing properly. Wood is a hygroscopic material, which means it absorbs and releases moisture from the surrounding air constantly. When humidity rises, wood fibers swell laterally. The door expands outward, particularly along its width. This causes the door to press against the jamb, creating friction that the hinge mechanism was never designed to overcome alone. At the same time, over years of use, the hinge screws begin to microstrip their seat in the wood. The hinge plate develops a tiny tilt. 1/16 of an inch of tilt in a hinge translates to nearly 1/4 inch of misalignment at the latch. That is why your latch does not reach the strike plate. That is why it drags at the bottom. That is why it swings open or stays stuck. Now at the molecular level, soap, specifically bar soap or petroleum jelly, both of which contain long-chain fatty acid molecules, acts as a boundary lubricant. These molecules are polar on one end and non-polar on the other. The polar end bonds lightly to the wood surface. The non-polar end faces outward and creates a surface that repels friction and moisture simultaneously. You are not just lubricating the surface. You are chemically treating it to resist the very moisture that causes the swelling in the first place. That is a 2-in-1 solution that no branded spray lubricant on the market fully replicates, because most of them evaporate or degrade within weeks. The door hardware industry in America generates over $14 billion annually. Let me say that again, $14 billion. A massive chunk of that revenue comes from service calls, replacement hardware kits, door planing services, and branded lubricant products. And here's the thing that should make your blood boil. Not a single one of those companies can patent soap. They cannot patent petroleum jelly. They cannot patent wood glue or a 3-inch screw. These are grocery store items, hardware store basics. They cost between $1 and $2. So instead of telling you the truth, They train their technicians to use language that intimidates you. They talk about structural settling, jam realignment, threshold calibration. They show up with a laser level and a belt sander, and they charge you $600, $800, sometimes over $1,000 to fix something that a bar of soap and 2 screws would have solved permanently. Every year you do not know the secret. You're either paying someone else to do it, or you are living with a door that frustrates you every single day. And they are counting on both. If you've made it this far, you already know more than 99% of homeowners in this country. So let me give you exactly what you came for. Here is the complete method, step by step, the way Heinrich Brauer figured it out in 1887, and the way every smart builder since has quietly kept in their back pocket. First, open your door fully and look at the hinges. You have 2 or 3 of them depending on door height and weight. Take a screwdriver, not a drill, a manual screwdriver, and check every single hinge screw. Try to tighten each one by hand. If any screw spins without gripping, that is your primary problem. That screw hole is stripped, the wood fibers inside are gone, the screw has nothing to bite into. Here's the fix that takes 4 minutes and costs nothing if you have a few toothpicks at home. Remove the screw completely. Take 3 or 4 wooden toothpicks and dip the tips in wood glue. Plain white wood glue, less than $2 at any hardware or grocery store. Pack those toothpicks into the stripped hole. Break them off, flush with the surface, let it dry for 30 minutes. Now drive the original screw back in. The toothpick wood fibers bond with the glue and give the screw threads something solid to grip. That screw is now more secure than it was the day the door was originally hung. This is not a temporary patch. This is permanent. Now look at where the door meets the jamb when it is closed. Take a white bar of soap, any brand, any type, $1 at most. Rub it generously along the edge of the door that is dragging. Rub it on the strike plate area. Rub it along the top and bottom edges if those are making contact. Open and close the door 5 to 6 times. The soap deposits fill the micro gaps in the wood grain and create that boundary lubricant layer I described earlier. You will feel the difference on the 2nd or 3rd swing. By the 6th, the door should close with almost no resistance. If the door still does not latch properly after tightening the hinges and soaping the edges, there is one more step. Look at your strike plate, the metal plate on the jamb where the latch bolt hits. Take a piece of lipstick or a crayon and coat the tip of the latch bolt, then close the door once and open it. The colored mark on the strike plate will show you exactly where the latch is trying to go versus where the hole actually is. If the mark is low, your door has sagged. If it is to one side, a hinge is leaning. For a low strike mark, you do not need to call anyone. Take a metal hand file and extend the bottom of the strike plate, opening by 1/8 of an inch. That single pass with a file, which takes 90 seconds, realigns the latch perfectly. No new hardware. No service call. No $600 bill sitting on your kitchen counter. For a hinge that is leaning slightly, fold a piece of cardboard, cut from any cereal box in your pantry, into a small shim the size of the hinge plate. Unscrew the hinge leaf on the jamb side. Slide the cardboard shim behind it. Reattach the screws. That cardboard shim shifts the door angle fractionally, and fractionally is all you need. This technique has been used by union carpenters for over 100 years. It is in 0 manufacturer manuals. It is in 0 tutorial videos from the branded hardware companies. And there is a reason for that. Do a final check. Open the door halfway and let go. If it swings open or swings closed on its own, the door is not plumb. This is fixed by adjusting which hinge gets the cardboard shim. Add a shim behind the top hinge if the door swings closed. Add one behind the bottom hinge if it swings open. 2 minutes, a cereal box, done permanently. The total cost of everything I just described is under $2. Toothpicks, wood glue, a bar of soap, a cereal box, a hand file if you do not already own one, and that is $4 at a dollar store, versus the $500 to over $1,000 of service call costs in most American cities. And here's the part that turns my stomach. The contractors who come to your home know this. They know it, and they reach for their belt sander, their laser tool, their branded lubricant spray, because the moment they solve your problem in 4 minutes with a bar of soap, you stop calling them. You stop depending on them. And they cannot build a business on a customer who no longer needs them. That is not service. That is a trap. And you just walked out of it. Now here is what I need from you. Not a like, not a comment, though both are welcome. What I need is for you to think about someone in your life right now who is dealing with a door problem. A parent, a neighbor, a friend who just got quoted hundreds of dollars for something that a dollar fix solves. Send them this video right now before you scroll, before you close the app. Because every share keeps alive what the industry tried to erase. This knowledge survived because people like Heinrich Brauer passed it person to person, generation to generation, in defiance of every system that tried to monetize their ignorance. Your grandmother already knew this. Now you do too. And knowledge shared is knowledge that cannot be buried again.